Hey, Grace Fellowship Church, studying and preparing for our new series in John this week. We're looking at John 1 to 18, but I was also doing some further research into just the introduction to John and the authorship of John. We talked a little bit about that this past Sunday and just found some stuff that's not going to make it probably into any sermon and wanted to share it with you. The authorship of John is usually discerned by what we would call external and internal evidence. External has to do with witnesses as to who wrote the book from history, and then internal would be looking at the book itself and seeing what arises within the book that points to a specific author. We kind of focused this past Sunday on a little bit of the internal evidence. The external evidence, from what I've read, is in this commentator Bruce Milne's view. He says it is extensive, and that seems to be what everyone else says, that the external evidence that it was John, the disciple of Jesus, John the son of Zebedee, is overwhelming. And the first witness to that is a man named Irenaeus, Bishop of Lyons. So this is one of the church fathers. And Irenaeus, it is said, got his information that John was the author of the Gospel according to John from Polycarp. And Polycarp was what's the word I'm looking for? He knew the disciples, and specifically he knew John, and had spoken with John. And so it's a pretty solid witness. And beyond them, there are others that point to John, the disciple, John the son of Zebedee, as the author of this gospel. You might wonder why it's disputed, because it's called the Gospel according to John, but when the gospel would have been first sent out, it would have been anonymous, probably not tied specifically to John the disciple. And so that's why we're concerned to figure out exactly who it was. But I think we can be confident, especially based on the external evidence, that it was John, the disciple of Jesus. But also the internal evidence. Another commentator from the past, a man named Westcott, says that there were indications within the gospel that the author was a Jew of Palestine, an eyewitness of what he describes, an apostle, and the apostle John. As far as questions to that, they didn't really arrive until 1750, though there were some speculations about it not being John the Apostle before that. But for most of church history, then, we find that John, the son of Zebedee, the disciple of Jesus, was identified as the author of John's Gospel. And so I think we can have confidence as we step into our study that we can view it as the eyewitness testimony of this man who walked with Jesus, who saw Jesus, who witnessed these things, who heard him speak, who was there when he died, and who was there when he resurrected and ascended. And so I continue to be excited about this study as we look at the witness of John and seek to believe more and more who Jesus was and who Jesus is. So there's a little bonus information on John. Maybe we'll keep this going. Maybe this is the only time it happens. But hope you all are having a good day and hope this has been helpful.